What's up, Toronto commuters, especially cyclists? I just learned that for some reason the golf courses, at least this one, is available on Street View. That's that's how? I don't know how. Anyway, so I was gonna do just a little thing on because I've figured out the ins and outs of Swansea. Beautiful Swansea. Right between the beautiful Humber River and High Park. It is freaking not easy to get in and out of. On a bike sometimes you just wanna you just wanna move out. But I wanted to just I got it's the thing is Windermere sucks. It's so painful, but you don't really need to use it. And the Queensway, there's this one segment of the Queensway here that sucks, but you don't really need to use it, which is so good because it really sucks. So getting from Swansea between the Swansea and the downtown, it's a pain, but it's not as bad. It's not that bad. It's just picture that there's like twice the distance between, maybe not twice the distance, but almost twice the distance, and you get an idea. Um, Swansea to going west, it just kind of sucks no matter what you do, and I can't really give you much in the way of tips. Like there's not much you can do. You can just basically just get out of the Queensway and thank your lucky stars that it has terrible bike lanes. And then, once you get here, you basically have to get off the Queensway, get to Stephen, and then you're in it's like west of Swansea. It's weird. It's kind of this like heaven and hell thing where you got these great back streets and stuff, and they are surprisingly connected. So you just kind of got these areas of back streets, and then you got to perforate through them. So you just got to know which spots to have to push through where and stuff like that. But getting back and forth from between Swansea and going to the west, the Bloor, this area along Bloor is actually really nice. So I don't hesitate to use Bloor to get back and forth. Does it even have bike lanes on here? I think at this point the Bloor Bridge actually has bike lanes. But I forget, but maybe not. But still, I don't have much in the way of trouble using this segment of Bloor for a big arterial road with no bike lanes. It's just, I don't know why, but it's not so bad. It's probably because I'm a super fast cyclist. I'm just really fast, and I use that area really fast. When I'm not ready to go really fast, man, is it ever a pain. Oops, I was going the wrong way. But you got to go down, and this looks fine, but it's down this killer hill, It's always like the cyclists have to do extra climbing, even though we're the ones without the fucking. So if you're not up for the speed, you have to deal with this crazy climb going down and then going back up. And that's a pain. But what I really wanted to talk about is getting from Bloor West Village to the waterfront without really using Windermere, because Windermere is a pain. And the key is, I think it's Deary is the key. Wow, okay, so it's like all whited out now. Google Maps in the morning. There's just something about the morning time just makes me want to go on Google Maps and just get my... What the heck is wrong with this? Wow. I guess I have to use satellite view. No, just... What? Wow. Okay. I will just use satellite, sorry. So Dury is it's like in the middle of Bloor village. You can use Dury, Beresford, or whatever, or even Runnymede because it's pretty chill over here, but not as much. So whatever you get off of Bloor with, just get onto one of these side streets. You're heading south, not to DeForest, but I think to Morningside. Let me just double check this. You want to end up, yeah, right here at Morningside and Lavinia. So instead of, like, the thing about Windermere is it's so damn busy, and they insisted on having like driving instead of parking instead of a bike lane, which I can sort of understand. But then the road's super narrow, and these guys are freaking crazy. They're crazy. Like you get this weird kind of intersection of safety and danger where you get drivers like passing you way too generously. Like, it's great that they're passing you, with generous passing distance, but like they do it when there's an oncoming car, and then they maintain the crazy passing distance, and then the oncoming car is like swerving toward the sidewalk. It's happened so many times to me on Windermere. It's messed up. It's just like it's so weird, and you get the people who tailgate you and stuff. It's just so stupid. Windermere is kind of right off. So you go past the school here, and you can go through the back of the like schoolyard, and then this is like no longer like this. There's this spot. Oh yeah, okay. This is like this. So if you don't mind going through this little thing here, then you can just go through the back here. But if you don't mind dealing with Windermere for one of its sketchiest portions, it's just like if you want the smooth concrete and you don't mind dealing with just the craziness out front of the school, like just check out this spot. This is so ridiculous. It's so nuts. They put these guardrails here, so they got this crazy fence already, and then the guardrails. So if you're walking through here, like, yeah, that's fun. Fun. This whole street's just been wrecked just because they weren't willing to like narrow it to slow people down, and it's a bus route, so they can't put speed humps on there. So it's so weird to have this kind of, it's like this tiny little road, but in terms of the sidewalk atmosphere, it's like a big main street where you just don't want to be there. So don't be surprised if you find yourself just sort of being like, I don't feel like dealing with this today, and getting down into here, because it's really not so bad. It's not just a schoolyard, it's like a school and a rec center and a bunch of stuff, so it's not really a big deal to bike across there. And then you go down this charming little back alley. Great place to just have a little, take yourself a little breather, especially if you've just climbed up this hill from the waterfront. That's where you're going to be chilling out. It's nice to have these little chill spots just to take a second. And then whether you're going uphill or downhill, Cohill Drive is just so much better than Windermere. Like, this spot on Windermere is so sketchy. If you want a super white knuckle downhill experience, or just a grueling, like, frustrating uphill one, where you're going back and forth between like the edge of the road and the sidewalk, and then you're just like, this is like making your way up this terrible, like, further down, it's just so shit. It's so terrible. It's like, it just looks fine, except everybody's doing 50, and they're freaking crazy. This would be, if I was a police officer, like if the Toronto police were trying to mess with dangerous drivers, if they had a mandate somehow to police traffic, this would be such a perfect spot to hang out. Just catch people doing the most ridiculous stuff. Actually, or maybe not. Maybe if you hang out there as a cop for like 10 hours, you don't get anything, and it just seems like a good spot. But Cohill Drive is just a billion times better for commuting. Whether you're going north or south, uphill or downhill, Cohill Drive is got the chilled out atmosphere that you need. And you get this beautiful, like, the other option, right? The other thing that if you check out the bike map, you might be like, oh, I'll just take like Ellis Park. I'll just take Ellis because Ellis is so pretty, but Ellis is like extra hills, I think, and it's also crazier in terms of the drivers. It's beautiful though. It's very beautiful, very lovely. But so you got Windermere on one side here. You got Ellis on the other, but then Cohill Drive. My gosh, it is so chill by comparison. It's so chill when you're using this road. It's just wonderful. And there's no center line. I think that is why drivers really give you a lot of room when they pass, but there's also, it's just not that busy. And then you cut in through Ellis Gardens. Now, as soon as you get onto Ellens, as soon as you're like getting ready to turn onto Ellens, you got to watch out because the drivers here have crazy expectations of you. They're insane. And I don't know, I've gotten honked at for nothing while coming around this corner, onto Ellis Avenue because it's just so. It's not a bigger street or anything like that, right? It's not designed different, but it is a totally different atmosphere, and it's easy to be not ready for it. From here on, now this whole thing, now you're entering the system. The system of... See, if you're a driver, you're really in good shape. If you're a driver going east from here, you are so good. Or if you're driving a train, that's also pretty good too because you got these 4 tracks. But if you're a cyclist, you got this one thing on one side, you got these other things on the other side, and they're all pretty good right here. You can get across all of them. They're all pretty good right here. But as soon as you're over in like on the other side of the system, I'll get back to this bit in a second, but, or no. Yeah, this is the bit I'm getting back to. As soon as you get to this area, and all these become useful because they are bringing you into Parkdale, they also betray you, and the nice way along the waterfront is like, hey, so now you're trapped here, and you either have to go all the way over to whatever this is, and then do this thing, which is, this is 10 minutes of your life right here. 10 minutes of your life. It's just one big long car commercial. It's just one big long experience of like, you're a loser. See how unpleasant this is? You're a loser. You're a loser. Get a car. See how unpleasant this is? You want to be here? You want to be here right now? You want to be here? No. You want to be right here on your bike with your bicycle? Get a freaking car. You freaking loser. So that's what that whole segment is all about. It just sucks. And then this is, kind of the same. It's like, see this beautiful pedestrian flyover that we gave you so you can take pictures of our incredible auto, like it really is. It's just like, it's blatantly like unjust and violent and weird. So this whole area is the system. And it's the system because, you have to do 2 different things depending on what direction you're going. Once you remember this, it's all good. Basically, if you're going east, you take the path that goes next to the lake. It's kind of the easiest way to remember it is it's backwards. So you remember, Toronto cycling is all backwards. It's all messed up, and it's great as long as you do it 100% backwards, 100% the wrong way. So that's how you remember this. It's like if you're going east, you're like the right side of the road. No, east you take the path that is on the left side. Okay, the path is on the northern side, and then if you're going west, that is when you take the what am I even talking about here? What? Yeah, okay, yeah. If you're going west, that is when you take the bike lane from here. So we'll deal with westbound first. So let's say, okay, so you're in Parkdale, you're cycling around, it's sort of normal, or you're in this area and you're cycling around, it's really normal. It's really super normal. And surprise, surprise, this is where Toronto has, it's right across the tracks from the Toronto cycling zone where there's the most cyclists, because it's the place that punishes you the least for not driving. But if you are, so you're in Parkdale, you got to get to, you know, Queen and Ronces, right? And then you get to one of these streets here and get over to Sunnyside, or get down to whatever that is. No, you got to get to, where does the freaking bike lane begin? So, I mean, instead of starting at, you know, at Roncesvalles, so that people could get cycling directions that wouldn't require long YouTube videos, they could have put it from, you know, coming from Ronces. But instead, they decided to start it at Claude here, which is fine, of course, because we have YouTube, and cyclists all have hours out of our busy lives to learn a route. You know, we're not like drivers where we need the luxury of somebody just being able to say, oh, you got on this road, and then you got over there, and then you got on this road and make a right turn, and then you're there. And that's like, you know, a commute across town. We've got to, you know, we've got to work for it. We've got to be like, yeah, so, oh yeah, you know, it's okay. It's only a half-hour bike ride. I'll email you the directions. You can print them out. It'll only be like 2 pages. No problem. So anyway, so you get on to, yeah, Parkdale Road. That's the key. And some of these are like, you know, one way, east or west, of course. So it's just a matter of like getting on to Garden or Galley or one of these roads, getting to Parkdale at Glendale. So you end up at this corner. This is kind of your gateway to, you're going to end up, if you're a cyclist in these parts, you're going to end up learning about this corner. In your efforts to avoid going to the hospital, which is right there. So in your efforts to avoid a visit to the hospital, just remember you need to get to the west side of the hospital, because that's where the bike lane starts. And I guess it's not in this street view, or maybe I got the wrong street. Yes, I got the wrong street. No, I didn't. Well, the bike lane starts somewhere. Yeah, okay, it starts here at Claude. So you get 1 block west of the west side of the hospital, and then you can get onto, and so why is this? Because if you try to use this kick-ass path, right, that goes along here, then you'll have to cross this, and they can't be slowing drivers down with like some kind of a crossing situation here. So this wonderful path there, and this excellent path there, they just, well, and this is like 5 minutes to cross this. It just sucks. So there's no point. So crossing it east, you go, you're going along this path, and you go up this little road here, right? And yeah, you can get over to here, and it's so nice because you can go up this little street, and yay. And so this is your entryway to life. This is your ticket to ride. I don't even think it's 2-way. I think this, whoever was pictured on there, I think was probably going the wrong way, because Garden. So Garden at some point becomes 1-way. You can take this. You can totally do this both ways, actually. So just remember this one route. Just forget about using the Queensway bike lane. I don't know. Sometimes it's advantageous to use the Queensway to go west, but now I'm forgetting why, because it just seems so needless. So I guess it's all about, you know, Pearson, Parkdale, and Marion or something like that. We'll just do this right here. This is how you figure out which route is bulletproof, in that it works in both directions. So let's see. I've got my thing going there, and then I'm going to create an anchor point, and that looks weird, but whatever. I'm just going to drag the destination back to my origin point here. So it's right next to my thing. Okay, and This is how I can see if I can make a route along here that works both ways. Yeah, so it's like coming one day, coming one way. So you take, depending on which way you're going, you take either Garden or Parkdale. Yeah, so it's one of those. You take either Garden or Parkdale, you use Sunnyside to move between them if you have to, and then this is how you get between. It's like when you get to this spot, this is one of those spots where you get to it and that's the end of the line as a cyclist. Or you're going west through Parkdale and you sort of get to, this, and that's the end of a line as a cyclist. They could just build this spot here and the cycling traffic between these two neighborhoods would like quadruple. And that's why they haven't built that, because, they're holding the downtown hostage. Toronto needs to use its roads to provide marketing to the auto industry. So all you got to do is memorize this spot. This is one of those spots where we really should just be graffitiing something on the ground or something, just to remind ourselves where, what the crazy route is. And then you could just tell people, well, you just go to this spot and then you just follow the arrows on the ground till you get to wherever. So that's how you get back and forth between Parkdale and Swansea. And then and then that's how you go north and south through Swansea without using the Kingsway. And the other thing that I wanted to do is kind of compare when you're going from like downtown to Swansea, right? Downtown to Bloor West Village. You've got these choices. You can do Bloor, which is like that's often the most direct route. Go downhill and then west and then uphill again. Take the waterfront. Or go uphill and then west and then downhill again. And the thing is, if you go straight through on Bloor, it's more direct, but you've got this extra hill. No matter what you do, whether you take Bloor or you take this interesting backstreet, complicated and quite fun route along Glen Lake, which is, that's fantastic. Is complicated in a couple spots. And like through this area, it takes like 50 tries to get it right. But it's more friendly than Bloor. But I don't really find the segment of Bloor that much of a problem in terms of the traffic, honestly. If I've got some energy, like if I've got enough energy to pay attention to drivers and stuff and conduct them and whatever and be their leader and stuff, then I'm fine with it, and it's really fast. If I'm looking for speed, Bloor is going to get me there fast, but it does make you climb this extra hill, so it makes you go downhill and then uphill and then downhill again and then back uphill again. So whichever way you're going. That's why it sucks. And so Bloor and Glen Lake, just remember they're both hilly and it's extra hills. It's not like you're just going downhill or something because it's higher where you're coming from. Annette is flat and the waterfront is flat. So, but to do the waterfront, you're doing an extra hill of going downhill and then going back uphill. And to do Annette, you're also doing an extra hill of going a little bit uphill and then a little bit downhill, but it's a very slight change. So if you're looking for real efficiency, right, and as in if you're tired, don't do Bloor, do Annette, because I think like the extra uphill inclination going up and then back down is not nearly as much as this. This is a crazy hill. A crazy, crazy hill. And you got to do two of these, remember. It's not just this one. It's the one over here as well, on the other side. And then you've got to climb back up into the thing. So this guy's just like, man, that was fun, but this is going to suck. And this guy is like, man, that was fun, but this is really gonna suck now. So, and you got to do that twice. So, it is worth it, in my opinion, to just get on up to a net and go across. And accessing a net is very fun, no matter who you are, no matter what you ride. Although it does kind of suck if you're going at it from the Junction Triangle, because the Junction Triangle on the top, there's Bloor here, which sucks, but no, it doesn't. It's not that bad. You just get onto Symington, and you do Symington to DuPont, or Symington to Wallace, to the rail path to Osler to DuPont, or you even if you're coming from Little Portugal, it's often worth it to you just take Dundas across. You don't have to take Dundas through this whole terrible stretch, but it's not so bad sometimes. But if you don't want to do it, just get off on this road here, Howard Park. Right? You do Howard Park, and then you do, okay, this is kind of offensive that they still have Indian Road in there. Colonialism. It's just so, it's fucking just so convenient. So convenient for us to have all these roads and then biking on them and whatever. So you can use disgustingly named Indian Road to get up to and then if you want to get over to DuPont, I really love Wallace. Wallace is just such a great, where is it? It's just such a kick-ass road for cycling on, because it's very friendly to everybody. And then just get onto Edwin. Don't bother with the rail path. Just get onto Edwin, and then just hold your nose, hold your breath, and just close your eyes through this whole segment, because it just sucks. And you get onto Annette, and then it's pretty good. Get across to Annette and use either, my recommendation is Dury over here. It's a great street. It's really awesome. Direct will go all the way between Annette and Bloor West Village, as opposed to Runnymede, which is just kind of sketchy and busy and shitty, or any of this stuff here. Just don't even bother, even if you're going like there or something, just take Dury, and then go. You can use this set of back alleys here, right? Or also DeForest here to go, east and west through the Bloor West Village if you don't feel like dealing with Bloor, because those Bloor Street drivers are a little bit hostile. And that is Swansea's cycling situation. So join me next time as we try to do stuff, and I lead you through the magic and joy that is like this spot. They just decided, instead of a normal intersection, why don't we optimize traffic and make an interchange? So when it's super duper busy, it's not really faster. When it's not super duper busy, it's just kind of annoying to do these extra, like when it's not busy, it's not really that much faster either, because you're just doing these loops, these crazy loops. If you're not driving, that's what it's really for. It's for the people who are not driving. It's in order to make you drive. As a cyclist, like, sometimes you end up having to take these, which I know just sounds ridiculous, but I'll make some other video explaining how to avoid using these or something at some other point. But this is like a complete danger zone right here. This is brutal. The construction company that's managing this is forcing eastbound cyclists to like almost die going towards this spot. So just do what Toronto politicians want you to do. Buy a car just to get between, just to get to here. if you can basically drive to here and then borrow somebody's parking from the west, just while they're doing this construction project, then and then park it and grab your bike, it's good from here on in. But I always think with these weird interchanges, that's, I mean, a condo could be right there, you know. You could have a big ass condo. You could have a big ass apartment building there, you know. You could have a lovely park in these two spots right there. And then kind of, like, since there's already this covered thing, you could just, you know, just like take down the bankment here and just have this go straight across. But then you'd have like this covered intersection if you just left up the elevated part, which could be kind of, I don't know, useless but fun. It could be an art thing, whatever. And then you could get rid of this thing because it's just useless anyway. It's just replacing an intersection that doesn't need to be replaced. And then this whole segment here, you got this whole friggin' massive triangle area. It could be another set of apartment buildings or a really good like strip, you know, of like if you kept this road in, but just made it like not, you know, not for driving on. It could be kind of a cool little market street. You could have markets alongside it or something. This whole spider's web is really interesting and intricate, and as soon as I figure it out, you know, I've only lived in Toronto since like 2007, so I still haven't figured out the sorcery and magic that it takes to bike or walk or think your way through this area. But boy, it sure would make a heck of a lot of good housing if we just removed all the extra driving space that causes like all our fatalities and stuff. I totally have that targeted. But even if like I keep thinking, even if let's say this spot, right? This road, as soon as you intersectionalize this, turn that into a regular intersection, everything that you see here is in surplus. So you could turn it into just a neighborhood street and have like portables running up each side. You could turn it into two parallel streets and have like a whole bunch of like buildings on this side, like say a row of tiny homes here, row of tiny homes there. I guess there's trees there, but say in this lane here, you got a row of tiny homes here, and then that's their backyard. You got a row of tiny homes here, and then you could have this great two-way street connecting them with a nice sidewalk, and that's a neighborhood for 500 people right there. You know, and you wouldn't have to do anything right now. You could just plant the stuff. Like we could, you know, if people just decided to do it, they could do it as a act of civil disobedience. They'd just be like, look, we're turning this ridiculous intersection into a neighborhood. That's my little bonus content. Bonus content at the end of my little activism bonus content at the end, and then I'll just do a little misclick. Let's do some random streetscapes. Let's see which of the golf courses have. Okay, so the Lambton golf course has that. Scarlet Woods doesn't. I wonder if somebody just like, how do you get street view like this? I mean, and it doesn't, it's really beautiful too. I kind of like the quality of it, but I gotta get whatever the heck this is. I gotta get this and just bike along all the roads of Toronto and put street view everywhere. Put street view all through the back alleys and the cool cycling routes and stuff. Oh, this guy's totally hooped. Alright, that's the end of our video. Golfing sucks.